Hello everyone. A recent US Navy operation on a suspected Venezuelan drug smuggling vessel is causing major buzz in Washington. According to the Washington Post, an admiral's order during the September 2nd mission raised legal questions. And now Pete Hegseth, Trump's defense pick, is right in the spotlight. Let's break it down. If you're just joining us from that opening, settle in because the story we're driving into is one of those uniquely chaotic mixes of high C-section, Washington intrigue, and a sprinkle of jokes that helps the bitterness go down. We're talking about none other than Pete Hegseth himself, a man who has somehow found himself standing at the intersection of Fox News celebrity, Pentagon aspirations, and an international scandal involving a suspected Venezuelan drug boat. It's the sort of plotline that, if you pitch to that a streaming service, they tell you it's just too unrealistic. But yet, here we are. Let's start at the top. Because to understand the current mess, you need to understand the man. Who is Pete Hegseth exactly? Imagine a military veteran who moved from the battlefield to breakfast television without skipping a beat. Hegseth served in the Army National Guard with deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan, gaining a reputation for his unapologetically patriotic stance. Then he transitioned into the world of conservative media, becoming a prominent face on Fox and Friends and championing bold national security ideals. To the America First crowd, he was and is exactly the kind of guy they want shaping US defense policy. Well, you know what I really mean here, but yeah, I'll let you to grasp into that. Fast forward to present time, and President Trump nominates him for Secretary of Defense, or maybe for now it's Secretary of War, they just like to change things. But however, for his supporters, it's a natural progression. The soldier commentator now stepping into the biggest military leadership in the country. But Hegseth isn't a boring figure. He has a history of making fiery, eyebrow-raising statements about military force, sovereignty, and what he views as necessary aggression, especially toward drug cartels, and those statements suddenly feel extremely relevant. According to Newsweek, on his defense of the admiral involved, it appears that Hegseth publicly backed the Navy's actions, emphasizing that tough decisions are part of the job in fighting narco traffickers. And this is where the storm begins to brew, because while Hegseth is climbing toward the Pentagon, another story is emerging. A story about a strike on a suspected Venezuelan drug boat on September 2nd, one that escalated in a way that has left lawmakers, human rights advocates, and the public scrambling for clarity. So let's break it down. The incident reads like the dramatic opening of a Tom Clancy novel, except the consequences are real for this time. US Navy forces spot a fast-moving vessel leaving Venezuelan waters believing to be carrying a heavy load of cocaine or other narcotics. The first strike takes the boat out entirely, sinking it. Initial reports claimed the blast killed nearly everyone on board, leaving only two survivors floating amid the wreckage. Then come the twist. A second strike, allegedly ordered to eliminate the remaining survivor in the water. And here's where the controversy exploded. According to the Washington Post, in their piece from 3 days ago, it appears that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth issued a verbal order to kill them all in the September 2nd strike on the suspected drug boat, based on officials' account that contradict the White House's version. It's the kind of alleged command that rockets straight into the center of a legal and ethical firestorm. While the operation itself was part of a larger anti-drug initiative overseen by the Trump administration, with more than a dozen similar missions carried out this year, this particular one, well, stands out. Of course, depending on who's telling the story, the details shift subtly, which only adds to the confusion. Still, this was no spontaneous action. It involved US Southern Command, the use of drones or naval assets, and the backdrop of tense relations with Nicolas Maduro Venezuelan government. Everything about it points to a deliberately orchestrated operation, not a chaotic battlefield moment. And yet, despite the planning, what followed was a mushroom cloud of political fallout. Critics quickly raised concern that attacking survivors, men who were no longer armed, no longer posing an immediate threat, could constitute a violation of international law. particularly the Geneva Conventions. Human rights organizations chimed in, pointing to a troubling statistic. Operations like this, especially in regions where intelligence is pretty murky, reportedly misidentify targets in about 20% of the cases. Even if this boat really carrying, drugs, the principle still matters. This concern now carries weight on Capitol Hill. According to Politico, in their article from few days ago, it appears that lawmakers, including Democrats and some Republicans, are warning that Hegseth's order may have been illegal if they indeed commanded killing survivors of the boat attack. Congress is demanding everything, like video logs, audio records, mission plans, communications, anything that could shed light to, on who gave what order and when. The trouble is, every time a new leak surfaces, the narrative shifts again. Meanwhile, the White House is working overtime to create distance between Hegseth and the most controversial elements of the operation. According to the Associated Press, in the report, it appears that the White House maintains the Navy Admiral order to follow-up strike on the alleged drug boat in September, and they insist that they complied with all the rules of engagement. That Admiral Craig T. Bradley becomes a central figure in the administration version of events, while Hegseth maintains that he never gave any, kill everybody directive. In fact, he's pushed back publicly, even with a touch of humor at the claims circulating through the press. According to The Guardian, from their story a few days back, it appears that Pete Hegseth denies giving orders to kill everybody on the alleged narco boat, pushing back against the leak and framing it as a standard procedure. PBS, meanwhile, confirmed that a second strike happened, but underscores what the White House says Hegseth wasn't even responsible for ordering it. According to ABC News, in their fresh piece from a few days ago, it appears that lawmakers are demanding answers after Hegseth responded to reports of ordering the military to kill all passengers on the boat, with the White House account clashing with other sources. Democrats are especially vocal, while some Republicans, though more cautious, are privately concerned about the optics and potential legal issues. In the broader public, polls show a split. Around 45% Americans think these strikes were excessive, according to a recent economy survey, while Trump's core supporters view the aggression against Maduro's government as justified. Alright everybody, we've officially navigated the full arc of this Pete Hegseth saga. From those high-seas strikes that read like the rejected script from a bargain bin action sequel, all the way to the political aftershocks rattling DC. It's honestly wild how what was supposed to be a straightforward drug interdiction mission spiraled into a potential confirmation derailer. According to Euronews, from their update, it appears that the White House is still defending the September attack as totally lawful amid ongoing ops that keep the controversy bubbling. But at the end of the day, it's a reminder that power on the waves always bring waves of scrutiny themselves. So what do you think? Heroic move, overreach, or full-blown high-seas hubris? Drop your thoughts in a comment, hit that like button if this breakdown helped you follow the drama, and don't forget to subscribe for more no-nonsense dives into the world wild of politics. Okay, that's all from me today. Stay kind, stay critical, stay curious, and yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.